How's it going, everybody? I am DeanoGTO, and today we're looking at the Pudel, the Tier 6 Premium Medium Tank in the Polish line, and it's pretty much a stock Panther down tier. Pretty much summarizes exactly what this tank is. It has a 700 horsepower engine, weighs about 45 tons, has about 15.5 horsepower per ton ratio, 0.35 accuracy on the L70 75mm gun, 135 alpha, 150 penetration. Pretty standard characteristics for a German medium. And one thing I like about this thing quite a lot is the fact that it actually has pretty decent armor. And at tier 6, it feels even better than it did at tier 7. Like, at tier 7, when I played the Panther, the armor felt really good. But at tier 6, it feels really, really good again. Like, I feel like the tier 7 Panther lost a bit of its armor capability as time went by, but this thing here, I think, pretty much rekindles that sort of thing that I really liked about the tier 7 Panther in the past. Oops, sorry, accidentally paused it. So you can see here I've gone to the western side of the map. Now my theory was, given the way the teams are composed, that the enemy team would not send any tanks to this flank, but I was very wrong, as you can see here. This was a bit of a mistake, and I didn't really expect this, if I'm honest. I had no expectation of so many tanks being on this flank, considering we have the far superior armored tanks on our team. They have 2 heavy tanks, we have 2 heavy tanks, but we have a heavily armoured tier 7 medium in the form of the VK3002D, we have a very heavily armoured tank destroyer in the form of the T28 HDC, and we also have me in the Pudel, which is basically a heavy tank in this sort of matchmaking. I mean, it has 50 side armour, 40 lower side armour, decent frontal turret armour, and I was about to say 100mm upper front plate, but it's 85mm upper front plate. So armor on this thing is damn good versus tier 5s and tier 6s, and I try my best to exploit that whenever I can, whenever I'm driving this tank. So the Skoda, I can see here, has actually moved forward, and you may have noticed earlier that I actually got a critical hit on this guy. I think that critical hit must have been an ammo rack, because you can see this guy is way shyer about getting hit by me this time in comparison to last time. Last time he was able to avoid a hit from me. Oh no, he was able to like get 2 shots into me in very, very quick succession, but whenever I got a shot into him, he fell back and just avoided taking hits from me any further, which made me think he must have been ammo racked. And in that situation there, the way he fell back and didn't try to get shots off towards me, further kind of makes me think he got ammo racked and wasn't able to fire back in return particularly quickly. So yeah, and you can see here that T3045 and the KV-1S are actually just around this corner in front of me. T3045 hasn't noticed me at this point, but I just managed to nail his commander there with that shot. And I kind of guessed that T1 Heavy would be reversing around the corner, so I kind of tried to get a free shot into him without him realizing, but he was actually going forward, which denied me that hit. So I got that, by the way, that shot there versus that T3045 there, I honestly have no idea how they actually managed to clip that guy, but I got exceptionally lucky and actually got that damage into him. And the T3045, he's able to kill me in 1 shot, and if he had rushed me earlier when he still had health, he could have killed me with ease. But he has now put himself in a situation, because he didn't rush me, where he only has 40 health left, and he's very easy to kill for me, and I'm very easy to kill for him if he can actually pin me. But I have the far superior armor in comparison to the T3045, and the KV-1S, in my opinion, at this point, is the bigger threat. He has a HE cannon, all he has to do is hit me or land a shot close enough to me, and he can potentially kill me. So, I 100% want to get rid of that guy first. Thankfully, the T28 HDC finishes off the T3045 for me, allowing me to just rush this guy, surprise him, and get rid of him as well. So, there was a punch 4H spotted around this corner. I kind of rushed around this corner, not really thinking too much about it, but I can see he's using the 75mm gun, so I'm not particularly concerned with this guy. Plus, it looks like he might be AFK as well. So, that's the Panzer 4H dealt with as well. Drill is sitting in the background there. We'll try and get the kill shot, but he's killed by the Type 58 before I can do that. Type 58's managed to get 2 kills there in the last couple of seconds as well. So, SU8, I got 1 shot into him, missed the second shot by a tiny amount, and he drives into the map border, which actually gives me the opportunity to try and go for a shot on his gun shield. Just about landed there and finish him off as well. So that puts me up to 1900 damage, and all that damage was done in pretty much 2 minutes of gameplay. Like, that damage racked up so quickly there. And yeah, I really do like this tank. This tank, I just find so much fun to play. I've always liked the I say I always liked the Tier 7 Panther. I liked the Tier 7 Panther whenever I originally played it. But going back and playing it, like, I think it was last year that I went back and played it, I wasn't particularly impressed by it at that point, because like at that point there were far more Tier 7 and even some Tier 6 medium tanks that had 240 Alpha, which meant the Panther's gun just felt so weedy and just worthless at that point. I mean, the Firefly has a better gun alpha damage than the Panther's L100 gun, so yeah, these days the Tier 7 Panther's not that impressive, but this thing reminds me of what I used to love about the Tier 7 Panther. This is ability to just catch people out and just drill people with its rate of fire. And I've come across Type 64. I wasn't expecting this guy to actually be here because he's a light tank, and I managed to get the second shot off, killing him off before he can actually kill me, which blew my mind actually, because, well, Type 64 is the substantially like faster reloading vehicle from memory, because I think this thing has like a 14 round per minute rate of fire, like base. Meanwhile, he has like over 18 from memory. So the fact that I was able to kill him there was a big surprise. But because the Hellcat must have moved somewhere else on the map, and the team decided to cap, that's the end of that game there. But I managed 2100 damage, and that was actually enough to get an ace tanker for this game. And I believe a couple of other medals as well. But yeah, it shows that this tank does have pretty decent capabilities, and I honestly do just enjoy playing this tank in general. It looks kind of derpy there because like just the way it was going over the land. But just in general, I do like this tank a lot, but I cannot recommend it to anybody, and the reason why is because it doesn't really have much of a purpose. So just to explain what I mean by it not having a purpose, one of the main purposes of lower tiered premium vehicles like Tier 5 or Tier 4, 5, and 6 is the ability to train up crews, because they do not make that much credits, well, they don't make that many credits, just to say. So pretty much their main purpose is just to grind up crews and to just improve on already existing crews. And that's where the problem comes in for this vehicle. There's two medium tanks in the Polish line. One's a Tier 5, which seems kind of Seal Clubby to train up a Tier 5 medium tank crew. Even though that's what I'm doing, I'm probably not going to really play the Tier 5 too much anymore, because I really just play this thing here because I enjoy it. And you have the Tier 6 medium tank. The Tier 6 medium tank in this line is garbage. It's one of the worst Tier 6s in the game, in my opinion. So, you have two vehicles that you can train up a crew for. That's it. I mean, if you look at other vehicles like the T-3045M, perfect example, that thing has 4 Tier 10 medium tank lines that you can actually grind up crews for. I wouldn't be surprised if you told me like the T-3045M could grind up like 30 tanks. I wouldn't be surprised. I would say that's probably actually about right. It's probably just under 30 different vehicles they can actually grind up crews for. This thing has 2. So it just makes this thing impossible to really justify getting, because it doesn't make that many credits because it's Tier 6, and it doesn't have that many vehicles that can actually train up crews for. So pretty much the only reason you would actually get this tank is because you like the Panther, which is the reason why I got it. So yeah, it's just such an awkward situation, because I do like the tank. Just the fact that it doesn't have vehicles that it can train up crews for it's just such a big drawback that you really can't like recommend it in any shape or form unless you like the Panther and unless you like the playstyle of the Tier 7 Panther. So yeah, that's my honest opinion on this vehicle. Even though I like it, I have to say like probably best to avoid it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this video in the comment section below. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one.